Well, you wouldn't want to be in the way of one of these things when they hit the ground. But for those who work in the Scottish countryside, they know that the risks of an accident are never far away. Now take forestry for example. According to the latest figures, over one 12-month period there were 45 major incidents and some of those were fatal. Well, Ken Rundle has been talking to some of the people who know what lies behind those alarming statistics.
At first glance, forests look peaceful, calm, almost benign. But work-related accident statistics tell a different story.
In the forestry industry, deaths and serious injury are over 60 times the national average. And 11% of farming's fatalities are down to timber work. If these woods aren't respected, they can be widow makers.
According to the latest figures, 6 people in 1 year lost their lives working in British forests. But the place with the highest number of accidents involving timber work is Scotland. It's one of the reasons why the Health and Safety Executive is running safety courses here.
Some of you may have heard the story in North Scotland where they were doing exactly this and the guy ended up trapped between the end of the tree and the wheel on the forwarder and ended up half his leg amputated.
We hear statistics, but as an inspector you actually see what's behind those statistics, and behind those statistics there's a family, and there's a family that's having to deal with either the loss or the injury of a loved one, and it can be very emotionally and financially very painful for these families, and I think we have to focus on that element of it as well.
It changed my life, but it certainly changed my family's life too. You know, I had to convert the whole house. I had to, the family, you know, that's where I was lucky. I had a good, strong family, and it helped me. But it's been difficult, especially when I was away in hospital for 6 months. You know, it was difficult for my wife. She had to travel down there. The family had to look after here in Croft and that.
Ewan spent 6 months in a Glasgow hospital for an accident no one is blamed for. He was an experienced contractor, working in a narrow glen and using a chainsaw to clear one of 3 old trees, when another one toppled.
I bent down to start felling the tree, cut the toes off it while they were coming with the rope to pull it in. And when I was doing this, I sensed something and straightened up, and I was hit by a tree. It was a big oak tree. It was probably 4 or 5 tons.
And what damage did it do?
Broke all my ribs down one side and broke my back and my spine. They severed my spinal cord, so I'm paralysed from the waist down.
There were 45 major accidents in forests last year and 57 accidents which put men off work for more than 3 days. Those working alone run a major risk.
A colleague of mine, thankfully he wasn't hurt, but he was taking down a hung up tree in a thinning and it dropped off the stump on his foot. And so he stood in the wood with this tree stood on his foot for quite a long time before he attracted somebody's attention.
So you wouldn't work on your own?
No. And
you're no longer going to be, you're not going to be cutting then?
Fine. You're not getting your trees cut either, we'll have to work this out, won't we? Day like today, how long before you're into hypothermia do you think? And something potentially very serious? You might have only broken your ankle, but you're stuck up there on the top of the hill with this sleet and rain and this wind coming in.
Harvesters like this are big boys' toys. You only get them in the forest. Chainsaws, though, you'll get anywhere.
Many farmers have chainsaws and farm woodlands are spreading across the country. But many question if they have the skills to manage them properly. While it's known that more than 1 in 10 of farming's fatalities involve timber work, much less is known about other accidents. Farmers can be slow to report them.
Farmers and people like that are not doing it full time, are probably not aware of the real dangers that's there. You know, they'll think, oh, just go and cut this tree for a bit of wood. It's not just a 5-minute job, an accident can happen. I would advise somebody that hasn't had training not to go near felling trees.
Those who train farmers say they can help.
There are a wide variety of training courses that they can get involved with, and it's vital that they do that, again, to extend the skills which allows them to develop further and get into other industries, basically. And as I say, diversify. There are these other opportunities out there within forestry. We've heard today that there is a shortage of people in the industry, and if they get out, get involved with it, there is further employment out there for them.
The Health and Safety Executive is considering running similar large-scale events just for farmers in forestry. But not today. Today's class must come to terms with another hazard, the weather.
Do you think we're safe here? It's a bit windy.
I think we're safe. My machine's got... look, it's turning bloody loud. I think we'll just make our way out to the road, shall we? Shall we? Come on.
It seems sometimes even going to safety courses needs a risk assessment too.
Now, as you've probably noticed, there's been loads of trees brought down by the storms over the past couple of weeks. So is the weather